sketch of a bucket, very poor sketch. Painting was, yes, it was a disaster. What you see here behind me are all my finished artworks. You can also see them on my Instagram. But this is not where I started my art journey. I'm making this video for those people seeking to learn something new, but now since you think you are quite old to learn all this, you are just not starting. So I think if you ever think that you want to pick up a paintbrush and you want to pick up a sketchbook, you should definitely do that, because there's always going to be a day zero, there's always going to be a day one. And today specifically, I'm going to show you those disastrous paintings. And now when I look at them, I feel bad for these paintings. But like I said, there's always a day zero and a day one. So I found this folder, and these paintings are actually from the year 2012, 10 or 12, so like 15 years ago. When I browse through them, I can actually see improvement. I can see some disastrous artworks, and I have also seen some artworks where I think I might have really put in a lot of efforts. Initially, I just learned drawing with a pencil. Painting came at a very later stage. I had no paints at my house, I just had a pencil and a paper. So this is when I got my first paint box probably, and I tried painting the spot. I was quite good at geometry and proportions, but painting was, yes, it was a disaster. There's no mixing, there's no blend, but I think I still understood light and shade. This is, I think this every person who starts sketching, he will start with these basic shapes and basic 3D shapes, just to understand how shading works. Also focus on what paper I'm using. This was no fancy sketchbook or no fancy paper, just I think basic, not even I think 100 GSM, basic 100 GSM or even lesser GSM printing paper, and that's all I have. Sketch of a bucket, very poor sketch. There's one more painting behind, there's one more coloring that I have done behind this one, which you can see, I think, just to save paper. This was the coloring that I've done with oil pastels. But to start with, this. So this is what I'm telling, that you don't have to be this perfect. You can always start with something so raw and which literally has nothing in it. And then you can like develop and make it better. I really like the simplicity of all these artworks. It's such a simple papers, very simple mediums, and you won't believe I actually have this set of oil pastels even now. Let me show you. This is the same set of oil pastels. It is completely worn out now, but I think I have been using it since 4th standard, and I still have it with me. I've never used it recently, but I think I should really give it a try and bring back some nostalgia. You know, when you really like something, and I really have a lot of devotion towards art, so I cannot throw away, I think, anything that I have used any time. So that is kind of dedication that you should have for any skill or hobby that you really love, you know, that respect, and this is like a devotion for me. Then starting with some human sketches. Human anatomy is missing, but I think it's quite good. I take the full ownership of all these disasters. Actually, I had made them during my exam. So if you complete your exam a bit early, you are not allowed to leave the exam hall, right? So this is actually a question paper, and because I had some time, and I think I must have been having few color pencils in my pouch, probably because it might be some geography paper or something. I just used them and made this behind a question paper. Oh no, this is like a Hindi question paper. Maybe I must be having two papers on the same day, I don't remember, but this is a question paper and I made art behind it. Like, not a single day without art. I can make art on anything. Then this, I remember, I actually went to a art class, and this was the first painting. that I made on the first day. Art tutor wanted to know my level of drawing and painting, so he asked me to make this, and all the colors are bleeding heavily. The colors are not even. It's kind of messy. It feels messy, and I got a C plus. And then my art tutor also realized that she really needs help in all this, and so he taught me, and little by little my grade improved. I love how I always focused on individual objects before moving on to the bigger ones. This was my first try, I think, at portrait. This might not be perfect. It has no proper shading to match the facial features, but somehow I just put in everything together just to make this person look like Steve Jobs, and I'm happy about that. I found something. I hope a lot of people who are of my age know that we used to make such paintings in school. We were asked to make such paintings just to test our symmetry wali skills. This actually improves a lot of observation skills also, and it gives you control over your hand. But I was told that focus on these the sharpness of these lines. Somehow I never had the patience to make the lines perfect, so I used to ruin the painting somehow at the end, but I learned it eventually. I have no words. Then somebody gave me a sketchbook, and I tried to copy few human figures from that sketchbook, and this is one of them. What I like about these paintings is that they are not perfect at all. I've just put all my efforts together and just made things look like what they are. They are not perfect, but at least you understand that this is the apple. Okay, this is the apple. These are the grapes. That was my only motive back then. Like 0 marks for neatness for this painting. But this is what I wanted to show you. There are a lot more old sketches and paintings, by the end of which I've actually created something like this also. So if you are liking this video, you can continue watching my channel for seeing more videos where I explain all these paintings to you. Goodbye.